Welcome back. We have got some breaking news from Manchester United.
I cannot believe how bad they've been and how stubborn he has been as a manager. Like, I get it. At Sporting, he done really well. He played a system. He had the players that worked. But, you come into Man United, you come into the Premier League, it is a completely different ball game. And I just think he's out of his depth. He is out of his depth. It was too big of a step for him. It's too big of a job. And he's crumbled. And, when I watch him, the formation, I just don't get it. He hasn't got it for that. The players, the midfield, he got no legs. You're trying to play Bruno in there, it don't work. But just the way he is as a manager as well is so emotional. He can't watch penalties. He sits in the dugout, he hides. He stands on the side of the pitch, and I'm not convinced that he really knows what he's doing. It's been such a poor appointment for Man United. And the quicker they get rid of him, the quicker they're going to get better. Because I don't actually believe that Man United are that bad. I think they've got some good players. But the formation they're playing does not suit any of the players that want to play in that formation.
Our poll today on the Sky Sports.
It is a busy night here on Sports Centre because now let's get to some breaking news from Manchester United. Now, the club has confirmed that Rúben has indeed left the club following his spell as interim manager. Now, Sani Rudvajala is at Carrington for us now. Good to see you, Sani. So, look, of course, it was his last game in charge, wasn't it, yesterday? Rúben Amorim has gone. He's made his mark, hasn't he? What more can you tell us?
Yeah, so Rúben has left Manchester United. He was at Carrington this morning and left fairly early, and that was the first indicator that we had that something could be happening. Of course, when I say first indicator, there are a couple more as well. We saw his kind of emotional scenes at full...
Rúben Amorim feels like the first manager who I've seen who sticks with a system rather than an idea of how to play. So, I'll use you, Roberto, as a reference. I always know how your teams will play with the ball. That's your idea. The formation might change, but Rúben Amorim, it's like, I've said this before, the formation's his baby. And to not change it or alter it in situations like that, I don't understand how you can stick with something so steadfastly in a situation like that when it's basically, one guy up front who's not really up front. You don't need three players there. If you're going to keep with your system, maybe put midfield players there. We see other managers do that. Maybe you bring a centre-back off and put a midfield player there because you're going to have so much more of the ball, so much more of possession. So I actually think it's not the losing the 3 points tonight. They can make that up through the season. I think it's one of those moments where I think a lot of people will really question the manager on the back of that defeat. They'll look at the players, and we know the players should do better, but the manager will take a lot of the blame.
Of Rúben Amorim's year in charge at Manchester United, so has he improved them, and where do they go from here? Marks out of 10 then for that man's first year in charge.
I don't think that they have improved. I'm sorry.
At all?
Where have they improved? They have not scored more goals. They have not had less goals against. They have not won any trophies. Yes, they have been in a final in Europe, but lost against a poor side.
You told us you love Tottenham earlier.
I love Tottenham. I love Tottenham, but they were a poor side last year. So he's got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. I don't think that they are creative enough. Not like they used to be.
Apart from that, he's done fine.
Yeah.
You've done probably, Dave, a lot of numbers pieces, stats, features at that screen about Manchester United. Would the numbers overall say that he has improved things?
Marginally. I think they have improved slightly going forward in attack, but they've spent over £100 million in the summer, so you kind of expect that. That's fine.
He's on the bench.
Well, one of them is, yeah. Defensively, I think there's still improvement there, and I think that's shown in a number of matches this season where they've struggled to keep the ball out of their own net, and it's been fairly easy for teams to play through them. I think that's a problem. But I'm reasonably optimistic about Manchester United this season. That's not me saying top 4, top 8, and I think top 8 is an amazing achievement from where United were last season if they get top 8 this season.
You're looking startled, Jimmy.
Don't get me wrong, it's not good enough for the history of Manchester United, but from where they were and the job, I think that is about
also
par,
for what they have spent. You think that is fine, that is okay?
Well, that's from what they spent, yeah. I think it's all right. All right. They should have brought a central midfielder and maybe a centre back, maybe another wing back, but they haven't got all that money, have they?
that optimism's faded.
Manchester United has been thrust into one of its most turbulent moments in recent memory after reports emerged of a fierce internal clash erupting among senior officials inside the Old Trafford boardroom. What began as weeks of simmering tension has now escalated into a full-blown crisis, shaking the foundations of the club and leaving fans worldwide stunned and anxious. According to multiple insiders, today's emergency meeting, initially scheduled to address transfer concerns and long-term planning, quickly spiraled into chaos as disagreements over strategy boiled over. Heated exchanges broke out between key decision-makers, with sources describing raised voices, clashing visions, and a growing sense that the leadership structure has reached a breaking point. At the center of the storm is the future direction under manager Rúben Amorim, whose tenure has been marked by both hope and scrutiny. Some members of the board are reportedly pushing for aggressive transfer moves to reshape the squad, while others are urging caution, leading to a sharp divide over the path forward. Behind the scenes, the mood is tense. Players and staff are said to be watching developments closely, aware that the fallout from this confrontation could trigger major changes, ranging from executive reshuffles to potential shifts in the club's sporting philosophy. Several insiders believe this moment could spark a dramatic transformation, perhaps even altering the managerial setup or the entire recruitment structure. For supporters, the crisis has ignited a wave of concern and speculation. Social media has erupted as fans try to piece together the truth behind the collapse in unity at the top. With uncertainty hanging over Old Trafford, many fear that the club's ongoing attempts to rebuild and reclaim its former glory may now be derailed by internal power struggles. As the football world waits for official statements or further leaks, tension continues to mount. One thing is clear. This unfolding saga has the potential to become one of the defining and most dramatic chapters in modern Manchester United history. Whether the club emerges stronger from the turmoil, or descends deeper into chaos, remains to be seen, but all eyes are now fixed firmly on Old Trafford as the next explosive development looms.